before we start up that I'm aware that it is hot in here. They are working on the air. I noticed that. I understand they have figured it out. I guess we will see. So, especially since I told you all the word sweater. You don't. Well, don't need that sweater right now. All right. We'll call your next witness.
Don Brooks. You stand up, please raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this case, the State versus Jamie Donnell Hood, will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Would you take a stand, please? Have a seat. Pull that microphone up where you can talk into it. And state your name for the jury and spell your first name, please.
Judon Brooks, Judon Brooks.
And Mr. Brooks, if you will, tell us how old you are, sir.
35 years old.
What's your date of birth?
2/18/80.
And do you live in Athens, Clark County at this time?
Yes, I do.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Paulville.
Here in Athens, Clark County?
Yes, sir.
And when you say Paldo, tell us where Paldo was and what kind of housing area that was.
It was a housing authority project. It was located over on the west side of town.
What street was it off of?
Hawthorne. Hawthorne, yeah.
And what high school did you go to, sir?
Clark Central.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
What year did you graduate?
99.
And are you working at this time?
Yeah, I work at Toyota. They call it Tags, compressor of Georgia in Jefferson County.
And in Jackson County?
Jackson County, Jefferson, yeah, Jackson County.
Jefferson, Georgia?
Yeah, Jefferson, Georgia, yeah.
How long have you been working for them?
Since, it was like 2 years, maybe 2 years, yeah.
What do you do for them, sir?
We make compressors for Toyota, Audi, all different type of cars.
Now let me ask you, if I can, about whether you know certain individuals. Did you know persons by the name of Chandra Bass, and their mama Belinda Willoughby?
Well, I know Chandra Bass, and I don't know their mom like that, but I know from around town. I don't know though.
Okay. And how about a person by the name of Ronaldo Billups? Do you know him?
Yeah, we grew up in the same neighborhood out in Paulville.
You can back up from the mic just a tad. There you go. See if that doesn't.
About halfway, about right there would be good. Let's try that.
Can you hear me now?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me again how you knew Ronaldo Billups. Is he older than you or younger than you?
He older than me. He actually, him and my oldest brother, we all played together, but they were older than me though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what part of town did he grow up in? The same area that you did or some other area?
Same area. We grew up in the same area.
In the Paldo area?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, do you know a person by the name of Mandrell Hull or Quentin Ride, and those two individuals?
Yeah, I know them through just the Athens area, knowing them, but like we ain't friends and all that.
And let me ask you, if I can, about Kenyatta County. Do you know Kenyatta County?
Yeah, we grew up together. We've been knowing each other since we were like 5 or 6 years old.
Did Mr. Campbell grow up there in the Paldo area or in some other part of town?
Same area, yeah.
And Kenyatta Campbell, is he about your same age or older than you or younger than you?
He probably like 5 months younger than me.
And Mr. Campbell, where's he at right now?
He's located in the Clark County jail.
For what reason?
Drug trafficking, marijuana.
In 2011, was he not in jail at that time?
No, he wasn't.
As far as Kenyatta Campbell, was he involved at some point in the marijuana business?
Yeah, he was.
Do you know, or did you know Kenneth Amari Ray before his
Yeah,
death?
we've known each other since we were 6 years old, 6 to 7 years old.
Were y'all about the same age as well?
Yeah, Amari probably like three, 4 months younger than me. Yeah.
Had you been over to his house and him over to your house?
Yeah, my mom and his auntie and all his family members, they all were friends, just like Mr. Kenyatta Campbell, all us. We all grew up like in a tight community, like all us like grew up together, come up together.
You said Kenyatta Campbell's in jail on drug trafficking.
Yeah,
In 2011, you said he was involved in some of the drugs. Were you and Omari somehow part of any of that at all?
I mean,
In some way?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I sold marijuana, yeah, okay. Omar, he wasn't really into that like that, but I was, you know. And I mean, you know, anything I did in my past, I ain't ashamed to say that. You know.
Now, let me ask you as well about Jamie Donnell Hood. You know about a person by the name of Jamie Donnell Hood.
Yeah, I know, Jamie.
The person you know of is Jamie Donnell Hood. You see him in the courtroom today.
Yeah, they him right now.
Does the record reflect is he appointed and referred to the defendant, Jamie Donnell Hood, Your Honor?
The record will reflect the witnesses identified at the
Tell me, is he older than you or younger than you or about the same age?
He'll feel a few years older than I am, yeah.
Did you know him at all?
Yeah, he grew up in the Paulo neighborhood. That's why I first was acquainted with him and his family in Paulo neighborhood.
You have any brothers at all that were friends of his or otherwise?
My oldest brother and his oldest brother were like best of friends. He should pretty much stay down our house. Yeah.
Now, let me direct your attention back to March 22nd, 2011, Tuesday. You recall that particular day, sir?
Oh, yeah, I did.
On that day, was there, at some point, did you wind up seeing Jamie Donnell Hood?
Yeah, he called me over to his house to come see him, yeah.
Prior to that, several days before, on 17th, had you spoken to him about that arrangement?
We talked. He came to at a cookout, and he actually approached me on some. That he was thinking about start selling marijuana, and he ain't never did it before, and he wanted to show me, told me to show him how to sell it. And the conversation was like, yeah, I was just listening with her, you know. Yeah, and then actually he just started. That when he. He approached me on the 17th about some marijuana, yeah.
Was he asking your opinion about any kind of marijuana he had, or what was he asking?
Yeah, he was saying that the marijuana, he wanted me to look at the marijuana that he was getting in. He's supposed to get over there.
Did he show you a sample of it on that day or not?
Nah, not that day.
At some point prior to the 22nd, did he show you some sort of sample of it?
Yeah, he showed me like a little small sack of marijuana.
What'd you tell him?
I told him that you can't judge marijuana by a little sack like that. He'll have to get more marijuana for me to see, to let him know what's going on with it.
Well, what led up to you going over there on the 22nd?
He actually called me the 21st, around about 9 o'clock.
In the evening or in the morning?
At night about 9. And that night he just kept on saying he needed to talk to me. And I told him that I was at the house cooking for my little girl now. So I said, I drop her off about 7. I'll catch up with you in the morning time. And prior to me dropping her off at my little girl off at school, as soon as I was riding off, he started calling me.
That was the morning of the 22nd?
Yeah.
When you say calling you, what do you mean?
Calling me like saying he needed to talk to me, and he said he had something he wanted to show me.
About how many times did he call before you got over there?
Probably like 5 or 6 times. at least 5 or 6 times.
Where was it that you were going to meet him on the 22nd?
He told me he was at his mother's house.
And do you remember what road that was on?
I know, I said, I just don't, I don't really know the roads like that. I just know where it was at, because I had been out there before.
Does Rannoch Road sound familiar?
Yeah, that sounds familiar, yeah.
That you'd been to that place before?
Yeah, Jamie actually worked on my car there before.
What kind of residence was that? Was that a duplex, just a brick house, or what did it look like?
Trailer.
A single wide or double wide? Was it a narrow one or a wider one?
I think it was narrow. I think it was narrow. Yeah, narrow.
Okay. And so on the 22nd, at some point, did you actually get over to his house?
Yeah, I pulled, I called him like, I was right around the corner, like I'm about to pull up. So, when I pulled in the yard, he was already standing in the yard, whatever. And I got out the car, and we just, started talking like we gradually talk, And for some reason he asked me to let the top up on my convertible. And I was like, he said he don't want nobody to go in my car. And so let the top up on my convertible. So I was like, I just turned the alarm on, don't worry about it. So we actually walked into the house.
Let me stop you there. What kind of car did you have?
1975 Caprice convertible.
Chevrolet Caprice? What color was it?
Tan.
Was anybody else with you, or you by yourself?
I was actually by myself. He actually told me to come by myself. He kept, every time we conversated, he was like, make sure nobody don't know we talking, and, but I wasn't thinking nothing of what was going on. Yeah.
After turning the alarm on your car, did you go inside with Mr. Hood?
Yeah, I went inside the house.
Tell me what happened when you went inside the house.
Mr. Hood said that we talked for a second, and he said he'll be right back.
Where'd you go in the house?
We came in the house, and came up into an opening in the living room, and we went to the left to like a room in the side, in the bedroom, like a little bedroom, to your left hand side.
When you went in there, were you just him and you?
Just me and him, yeah.
And then what did he do and say?
He said, I'm gonna be right back.
And you stayed in the bedroom?
Yeah, I stood right there.
And what happened then?
When he come back around the corner, he had 3 other guys with him. Well, guy walked up, approached me with a gun, twisting it like this right here. And I kind of fanted at the guy like, what's going on? What's going on, Hood? And from that point on, he just turned into somebody else. I was like, what's going on, Hood? He was like, you know what the fuck going on? I was like, what's up? What's going on, Hood? He said that I tried to lure him into a car for me and Mr. Kenyatta Campbell to kill him. And I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, when I tried to lure you into a car, Hood? And then so he was like, that's when he first asked me how to let the top up on my car. And he got my keys. He told the other guy, he's like, time up. So the guy pushed me onto the bed, and went to my knees. Went down to my knees or whatever.
Let me stop you right there.
Mm-hmm.
You said 3 guys came in the room there.
Yeah.
What did they look like?
Two guys had on ski masks, and one guy had a white T-shirt tied around his face.
And were they white guys, black guys?
They were all black guys, but one was light skinned. The one who actually put the ties on me, he was kind of light skinned, like brown skinned guy.
And did they have any weapons?
Yeah, the one who approached me, the first one who approached me with the white shirt, he had a silver and black.
I'm sorry. Back off. No, you're fine. You come up. If you can be about that far, I can adjust it, but keep moving.
Okay.
So, all right, let's try that. Thank you.
All right, and can you straighten him?
That's fine.
Yeah. So the first guy approached me. He had like a silver and black. I don't know, was it a 40 cal or 45? I don't know. And the other guy was looked like a 9mm, and the tallest guy, he was holding like a shotgun.
What kind of shotgun?
It was a sawed-off.
And when the defendant left the room with your keys, what happened in the room there?
Jamie told the other one, the guy who had the white shirt tied on his face, to put the ties on me, and told him make sure he don't get his fingerprints on him. And
Put what kind of ties on you?
Plastic ties. He put them around my started around my feet. He told me to take my shoes to go in my pocket. He put them around my feet first. He took my shoes off. Then he put my hand behind my back, and then he tied them behind my back.
And they were zip ties?
Zip ties, yes, sir.
As far as behind your back, how did they put them on your wrist to put them behind your back so you could actually get your arms behind you?
I mean, they laid me down on my knee. I was on my knees at first, up against a bed, and I remember when he was putting the ties on me. I remember I said a prayer. I was like, Lord, if this is my day to go, just let it be fast, But during the time, someone was just telling me stay calm, and I kept a calm attitude. The guy, when Jamie walked out the room, the guy would talk to me, and he would be asking me questions like, could I get him money and stuff like that right now. So I was being calm with him. So he actually, he never would actually, the guy who was doing it, he wasn't being real hostile with me,
And as far as, did they put your arms behind your back with the ties?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And that was after they tied your feet?
I think tied my feet, yeah.
Did the defendant come back in the room at some point?
Yeah, Mr. Hood came back in the room, and then that's when the first time he was like, he asked me, he was like, he said something about he been living without no heat and air, and I'm living good, that's when he was like, he needed money to get out of town, and that we he asked me, where the fuck that nigga Ken at?
Where is who?
Where the fuck Ken at? That's what he said.
Who is he referring to?
Kenyatta Campbell. And he asked me where he stayed at, and I was like, I didn't know. And then that's when I asked him, I was like, so if you got a problem with Mr. Campbell with Ken, I like, why you never went to him? I mean, 'cause I told him that was his word. He used to say, you go to him, if you got a problem with him, man, you go to that man with the problem. Then that's when he told me, shut the fuck up. He had a knife, popped the knife out, and told me he'd stab me. So I kind of been quiet. He walked off. They were still trying to, he asked me again how to get my top up. And I'm telling him, you gotta let mash a button on the dash to let it up. And so I guess, I don't know, did he go outside with the other guys to let top up? Because one guy stayed in there with me. And so when he came back, he was like, that's the first time he said he needed money to get out of town. And I'm trying to think what I said to him. When I said something, I can't remember what I said to him, because that's when he had some hot boiling water, and he was like, bitch ass motherfucker, I throw that water on you. If you don't do what I tell you to do, you know what I'm saying? I don't tell him what Ken was, and don't do what he said you do, he's gonna kill me. And then he was like, one of the guys said, what are we gonna do with him? And he was like, I'm putting him in the trunk of my car. And,
as far as the defendant, you said he had a knife that he popped out at some point.
Yeah, he popped a knife out, yeah.
What did it look like?
It was probably about maybe 6-7 inches on the blade, but it was about that long. It had a green handle on it.
Does the record reflect that what he showed, Judge, is about 10 to 12 inches long altogether? Can you show that again about how long the knife was
Probably
when it was popped out?
When it popped out, it was probably about that long.
And the blade was about how long?
Probably about 6 to 7 inches. Yeah.
It had a green handle?
Green handle on the knife, yeah.
Did he say anything at all about murder at some point?
Yeah, that's when he told me that he was wanted for murder. At the time, I was thinking that he was just blurting it out to scare me. I was like, I'm already wanted for murder. I gotta get out of town. And he was like, he needed to go to Marietta, Maryland. I can't remember exactly what he said, but somewhere like that, Marietta, Maryland. He said he had to get away. And he told me he was like, if I don't do what he say and get the police involved, he was gonna go kill my mother. Yeah.
Did, you mentioned that he had told the other guys that he was gonna put you in the trunk of his car.
Yeah. One of the other kidnapping guys who were with him asked me, I would ask him, like, what you gonna do with him? He was like, shit, I'm gonna put him in the trunk of my car. So the guy who put the tape around my face, he didn't do a real good job at it. And I could still see my feet. I could see the ground, but I was acting like, they took like a blankie and he put it over my head as we were walking out of the bedroom through the house. And I remember we walking, we came down, we had to come out the back door now. We came down the back steps.
Let me stop you there. You said something about some tape over your mouth.
Yeah. He when I was talking, when Jamie told me he was gonna throw the water on me, if I keep talking, that's when he told the guy to put the duct tape around he said tape his mouth up,
Did they tape just your mouth or any other portion?
Yeah, he started around my eyes and then went around to my mouth. Yeah.
And then you said they put something over your head?
Yeah, we were walking, when they got me up and we were walking out of the bedroom, he took like a blanket or something, like it was red and blue, and he put it over my head as we were walking through the living room, which I could still see the floor, I could see my feet as we were walking out the house. So as soon as we come down, like on the backside of the house, I guess it was a little steps or something to get off or whatever.
Were you having to hop or could you?
I mean, I could move I had 2 ties around my ankles, but I could still walk, but I mean, I couldn't take big steps. So
you went out the back door, there were some steps. What happened then?
Actually, Jamie had his Cadillac. I noticed when I pulled in the yard that Jamie had his Cadillac parked to the back door. He already had his car parked right there. And so somebody had to ride by, because as soon as we got out the door, they pushed me to the ground. And I heard Jamie say, I don't think they seen him. And then so as they were finna get me up, Jamie called one of the guy's name. I can't remember, he said Cedric. He said, help him up. So they picked me up and they put me in the trunk. And I remember telling the last guy, like, if it was money y'all wanted, I'll get y'all some money, man. Y'all ain't got to kill me.
How were you able to talk with the duct tape over your mouth?
I said the dude didn't really put it on good. I could talk, but when James was right there, I didn't let him know I could talk. But I could talk, you know what I'm saying?
Did the guy say anything to you about money? Once you told him, hey, if it's money you want, I can get you money or anything like that?
He said, then we told him, don't worry about it. Get us some money, we ain't gonna kill you.
And after putting you in the trunk, how did they get you in there? How did you get in the trunk?
They pushed me over there, like they pushed me to the back of the car, like pushed me over into the trunk.
And after pushing you in the trunk, did they close it or leave it open?
He closed it. They closed the trunk.
And then what happened?
I remember us taking out real fast. The car taking out real fast, and it came to a halt real quick. Come to find out, that was my cousin Santana. He actually had rode by and he said he seen my car in Jamie's yard.
All right. We'll go into what your cousin said at this point.
Okay.
But you talked to your cousin later.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Okay, yeah, I talked to him later, yeah.
From what happened when you pulled off real fast and stopped real quick.
Stop for a second.
What did you hear at that point and realize what was going on?
I heard Jamie talking to somebody. I didn't know at the time, I didn't know who he was talking to. So as we were riding out, at that point, I broke the strap. I broke my hand out of the strap. So when the car actually stopped, I thought that when it stopped, I put my hand back behind my back because I didn't want them to know that my hand was free.
You You had your duct tape still on? Did you
Yeah, I
take
still
it
had
off
I
the
kept
duct-
the duct tape still on my mouth just in case. So but when it came to a stop real quick, I already had broken my hand out of the strap. So I was in this trunk and I was actually looking for some kind of defensive weapon or something to defend myself with. If you know, if they opened up the trunk and they did not know my hand was free, and I couldn't find it, and I was trying to get them off my leg, get the ties on my leg, but I couldn't manage to get them off. So I remember I just told myself I started messing with the trunk lash. Looking at messing with the trunk lash. And then I pulled why they was up inside the trunk lash, and the trunk come open. So now I'm holding the trunk with my hands, but I can see the ground, but I'm trying to keep the interior light from not coming on the dash, letting me know the trunk open. So we going real fast, and then I'm thinking to myself, I was like, should I jump out the car while it's riding? And I know more likely my car was following it. I said I might get ran over. Then I told myself, well, just when I hear other brakes, I would when it come to a stop and I hear other brakes around, then when I'm gonna bail out the car, jump out the car. And I remember I was acting like I couldn't breathe, like I was wheezing for air, just to, you know. And I remember James saying, "Bitch, don't die back there on me, bitch. Don't die back there on me, bitch." You know. And so as soon as I heard when we came, I didn't know how far we went. I didn't know they taking me to some kind of country road. I was thinking all this type of stuff at the time, like that's why I was contemplating jumping out the car while we're rolling. I didn't know. So when it did come to a halt, I bailed out the car. When I come out of the trunk, I hit the ground. I just jumped up and I ran between two cars, and I was telling them that they kidnapping me. And Mr. Hood, he jumped out of his car and like he was gonna come at me, but then he just shit the boot and he drove off. And I seen that my car followed. And when he took the right going toward Oconee Street, he took the right, and it just so happened that some guys that I knew from school, they was just happened to been in the left lane. They were like, Jadon, man, go get in the car. Come go get in the car. And I ran and jumped in the car with them.
When the car stopped, before you opened the trunk and fell out,
Yeah.
did you take the duct tape off your face and your mouth, or did you leave it on at that point?
No, I took the duct tape off. When I was actually trying to get the ties and stuff off my legs, I went in and took the duct tape off my mouth.
And at that time, when you got out, did you go to another car first before you wound up going to your friend?
Yeah, I ran toward the car. You know, it was a guy. I guess you see something like that. I mean, I can't fault him for not wanting to get involved, but he was like, he rolled his window up and like, so I ran from his car. I was like, help me. And
How did you run if your legs were tied?
I mean, I was doing it with the ties on. I was doing the best I could do, with the ties on. I was just trying to get away. And that was when Dane and Ernest were like, JD, come. My nickname JD. They were like, JD, come on down, man. Come get the car with us. And
you said Damon and Ernest. Is that
Ernest.
Damon Taylor and Ernie Badger?
Ernie Badger, yeah.
Who was driving?
Dane Taylor.
And when they waved you over there, what happened and where did you get in their car?
On the hill between Lexington Road and the right, you turn to Oconee Street. They was in the left lane finna go toward Lexington Road.
They were on Winterville Road.
Yeah, they came down Winterville Road because they came down Winterville Road.
What part of the car did you get in their car?
The back seat.
On the driver's side or the passenger side?
The passenger side.
And after getting in the car, what did you tell them and what happened?
I actually told them to go behind Jamie. I said, go behind him. And it was like, Dane, he was like, man, I gotta go do something for my wife. And I was like, and Ernie Badger actually told me, like, Jadon, man, don't get yourself in no trouble going behind I mean, you know, and he worried like, don't get yourself in no trouble going behind that nigga. I just did 7 years, man. You don't want to go to chain gang behind him, man. Let the police get him. So that went on. Ernie gave me a cell phone. Then when I called the police.
You called 911?
I called 911, yeah.
And after calling 911, or before you called 911, did you call somebody else?
Yeah, I didn't have my cell phone on me, so Damon, he called Dennis Brown, and Dennis Brown got in touch with Ken, and I was telling Ken, telling them, y'all be careful, because this man talking about, he wants you, he looking for you. I warned Ken that Jamie was saying he was looking for him.
And then you called 911?
Then I called 911, yeah.
And after calling 911, did you actually connect up and see a police officer?
Yeah, we rode past the Clark County Jail. We busted a right by onto what is it, Gang School Road?
Yes.
We busted right on Gang School Road. We went to Patty Hills Middle School. That was Dane White worked at. And I actually think I was still on the phone with the cop. And I was like, he got to stop by here. And I told him that I was going to meet them back by where this incident happened at Pittman Tie Shop. It was right on the four-way by Pittman Tie Shop. And we came around the corner. And I told the police, we seen the police, so we pulled over by some apartment complex. I don't know the name of them, like in their driveway. And,
that was before you got to Pitt?
Yeah, that was before I got to Pittman, yeah.
You know what road that was on?
Just that. We turned off Gang School Road, so what would that be, that road off Gang School Road going the right back?
Barnett Shoals?
Barnett Shoals, yeah. And we went down, I think, yeah, Barnett Shoals Road.
When you basically spoke to a police officer at that time, an officer responded, what happened? What did they do with your ties and otherwise?
Yeah, when I got out the car, you know what I'm saying, the officer, he asked me, you know, who was the person or whatever who had kidnapped me and stuff, and I would tell him who that was, and then that's when I was like, I still got the ties on right here, and that's when the officer, he cut the ties off, and cut them off my arm. He took pictures of me.
Okay. And you tell them basically the name of Jamie Hood?
Yeah, the name of Jamie Hood, yeah.
Did you give a description of the car he had?
Yeah.
In your car?
Yeah, I gave the description of my car, and I gave the description of his car.
What color car was his?
2001 Cadillac DeVille.
What color was it?
Tan color.
And did you wind up having some idea about, or telling them where he might live, or what area he might live near?
Yeah, I knew that he stayed down, what the name of that? I don't forget the name of that road, but I know it's behind Hojo's, the Hojo Hotel.
Hojo, what do you mean?
The hotel called Hojo's right there.
Howard Johnson?
Howard Johnson, yeah, Howard Johnson. I forget the name of the street down there. But I knew that James stayed over there with him. And I told him that more likely he probably headed that way, or Atlanta somewhere, I don't know. Because I remember him telling me he needed to go to Marietta or something. So.
Let me show you, if I can, what I've marked is State's Exhibits 39 and 40, two photographs. May the record reflect the bailiff, showing that to the defendant. You take a look at those photographs, sir.
Yeah.
State's Exhibit 39 is that a photograph of you, basically after the officer had cut the ties off of him?
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, that's a picture of me, yeah.
State's Exhibit number 40, is that a photograph of the ties that were on the ground outside of Damon Taylor's car?
Yeah, them the ones that cut off me, yeah.
And do those photographs fairly and accurately depict the way you looked on that date and time when the photographs were taken?
Yeah, yeah, I was scared for my life, yeah.
Your Honor,
I was actually scared for my mom's life too, because he told me he was going to go kill her, and I couldn't get in contact with her.
I meant to ask you, said something about them going in your pockets. Was there anything else they took from you other than your car?
Yeah, they took, I had like $150 on me, and they took my cell phone.
Your Honor, we were tendering the evidence, State's Exhibits 39 and 40.
Any objection? No, sir, Your Honor. 39 and 40 are admitted.
And those two, please. Thank you. Now, if I can, Judge, let me go ahead and display these. Thank you.
No.
And you may have to turn that device on, or we could turn, with Your Honor's permission, turn the lights down just a little bit. Thank you, sir.
Should be on.
Well, while we're waiting for that to warm up, I guess. Is that it? Okay, good. There's in front of you a device, a laser pointer. Do you see that?
Yeah, I got
The
it.
laser comes out at the end where the button is. Okay? Let me show first what's been entered into evidence in State's Exhibit number 39. Is that a photograph of you on that particular day, sir?
Yes, it was.
Well, at that time, did you weigh more than you do now?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Those are the clothes that you were wearing at the time of all this?
yeah.
For the record, what does that street sign say? Can you read that?
What is it, Stafford Drive?
Stratford Drive?
Stafford Drive, yeah.
Who is this right here that I'm pointing to that has the backup?
That's Damon
Damon Taylor?
Damon Taylor.
Let me show you what's been entered into evidence in State's Exhibit number 40. That car right there, is that Damon Taylor's car?
Yeah, that's it. That's the car, yeah.
Where the back door on the passenger side is open, is that the area that you went into?
Yeah, that's
You left that area, is that correct?
Yeah, well, I was sitting there. That's why I jumped in the car right there.
These items on the ground are what, sir?
The ties that the other guy that Jamie told to put around my ankles and my hand.
And that's after they were cut off by the police officers?
Yeah.
Let me show you, if I can, what's been entered into evidence already as State's Exhibit number 6. It's an aerial photograph. You recognize that in Winterville Road as it comes into Lexington Road and
Yeah.
it all. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Can you see it up on the screen there a little bit?
Yeah, I can see it on the screen. Yeah.
And let me zoom in and see if I can.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
And that area right here, sir, is that intersection of Winterville Road and Lexington Road that the car stopped?
Yeah. We.
Do you see what's referred to as Pittman's Tire, or what area that would be in?
Yeah, that's on your right hand side.
And you see there 2 lanes of traffic heading into Lexington Road there.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
The car that you got out of, the defendant Jamie Hood's car, what lane of traffic was it in when you jumped out and fell out of that car?
We was in the right hand lane roundabout right there.
When you got out, did you see your car behind it?
Yeah, when I hit the ground, my car could have been probably like 20 feet from Jamie's car.
Could you tell it all? Could you see it all very well? What the folks in that car looked like?
Now,
Was it
actually,
one person, two persons, or more than one person?
I saw two people. I glanced at two people, because as soon as I hit the ground, I looked, but Jamie acted like he was coming at me. So I ran between the cars. So as they rode past me, I tried to look again, but they took their shirts and they had them the long way. They took them like, you know what I mean?
To cover their face?
Yeah, kind of like cover their face. And they fled behind. When Jamie took the right onto Oconee Street, when he took the right there to Oconee Street, they fled right behind him.
If you take right on Oconee Street, you wind up going underneath the bypass as you head toward town?
Yeah, yeah.
And which lane of traffic was Damon Taylor's car?
He was in the turning lane going left toward, going down, finna go toward Lexington Road.
And which way did it turn?
We took a left. We took a left one toward Lexington.
Thank you. You can turn the lights back on.
I have a objection. That picture he just showed, I'd like to object to that because I see two cars right there. I mean, to me, that misleading because the jury might think, hey, this that Cadillac and this car behind me.
Well, that picture's already been admitted into evidence.
Okay. I just
You
crossed
can
on.
cross-examine on that issue.
Okay.
Can I ask Mr. Malden, are you gonna put something, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna turn that projector off or not.
I don't intend to put something else on the screen right now, Jay.
Thank you.
Mr. Brooks, let me ask you. Prior to March 22nd, 2011, was there ever a conversation you had with the defendant, Jamie Hood, about the police, what he might want to do with the police?
Yeah, this had to been around June of 2010. It was me, my cousin, Kenyatta. I don't know, was it Omari? I think it was Omari. He was in the yard, in my mom's yard.
Where is that, in Paldo?
Nah, my grandma, she lived in my grandma's house on Hawthorne Extension. They call it the Black Road, but it's Hawthorne Extension. It's right above Paldo.
Okay.
And so we standing in the yard, and we see the police lights coming up the street. But we don't know then. I was like, darn, they behind Hood. So they pulled Jamie. He pulled over to the right side in front of my mom's house.
Who did?
Jamie Hood.
Got pulled over by the police?
Yeah, he got pulled over by the police.
Did y'all see that?
Yeah, we seen that. Yeah. Actually he didn't have his on his car. He didn't have his back lights on. He just had the headlights on. So the police pulled him over to just to let him know. So I guess he asked him for his license and insurance. And so how when Jamie was talking to the police, we could hear that conversation, and we was like, he was acting nervous, and like instead of just giving the police officer his license and insurance and let him go about their business, so they finally the police let him gave him a warning or whatever. So we was just telling them about, man, you just let the police, man, just go about their business. I mean,
You were telling Mr. Hood that?
Mr. Hood, yeah.
After that, did he come over to where y'all were?
Yeah, when he walked up in the yard, yeah. So
You were telling him what?
we were telling him, just if the police pull you over, man, you know you right, just give them your license and insurance and let them go on about their business. You ain't got to keep explaining and talking to them. And I said, we was like seasoned police officer would have probably thought that you had something in your car and probably would have asked you to get out the car. So he was like, we named some officers that we know would have probably searched that car that day because how he was acting. And I think we named Officer Tab, and we named Officer Moss. And when we named Officer Moss, I want to say my cousin Dedrick, he was like, Jamie, I think that's the one killed your brother. And then when Mr. Jamie was like, no, don't say that, don't say that, no, don't say that. And then we said, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill me one of them bitches. he was referring to the police. He said, well, I'm gonna kill one of them bitches, you know, and he was referring to the police, but at the time, you know, he used to say a lot of off-the-wall stuff, so I was like, you know, I kind of just looked over him talking like that, because I was like, I mean, I know he ain't got to do nothing crazy like that, but that's the first time I actually heard him say that he had intentions of killing a police officer. Yeah.
Let me go back to December 28, 2010, the date of Maury Ray's death. Did you see him on that day just before he was shot and killed?
Yeah, actually, it was his little cousin's birthday, and we were supposed to take them out to go eat at Applebee's, and he had called me, and he said he had something he had to go do before we go to Applebee's with his little cousin. So he said he left some in my van, so he needed the keys to my van, but he actually called me and asked me to bring the keys to him. But by that time, I was up me, it was me, Kenyatta, his sister Brandy, and then Mom. I was over to their house, and the football game had came on. So I was like, hey Omar, you gotta come over here and get the key, bro. So probably like 10 minutes after that, Omar, he pulled up, and I gave him the keys, and he was saying, yeah, as soon as I go by my mama's house, I'm gonna call you, and we'll just hook up and go to the Applebee's. Then at the time, it was crazy that night, because I had to go down to Jermaine's house. He stayed right down the street from Kenyatta. And I walked to his house and we were talking. Then as I was walking back up to a Kenyatta house, I had got like a real eerie feeling over my body. Like, I'm talking about, I had got chills, like real chills. I don't know where it came from. It was a real eerie feeling. And I was like, I'm in my own neighborhood. Why am I feeling like that? And so I jogged on up to Kenyatta's house and went on in the house. And I remember a dude named LC calling me like 3 minutes prior to this. He was like, have I seen Omar? Have I talked to him? And I was like, yeah, he just left me. He said he was headed over to his mama's house. And he told me he had rode past there, but the yard looked dark. So I was like, well, just go back by there or whatever. I'm finna call him. And he never picked up the phone. And I remember texting him, telling him that, you know, that the guy was looking for him. And probably no more than 5 minutes later after that, I got a call from a guy named, a guy called me, and the dude named Pino, he called me, he was like, hey man, you need to get over by Omar's house. Say he had been shot in the, say he had been shot in the neck. And I was like, you know, so I told Ken, I said Omar just got shot. So we both, he jumped in his car, I jumped in my car, we both fled over there to a neighborhood. And I remember, as I pulled back there, there were cops everywhere. And I pulled in, I blocked out the ambulance by mistake, and I seen him in there pumping on. I'm like, don't look, it don't, but like I said, I want to look bad, you know. So I asked the ambulance dude, I was like, well, y'all taking him or whatever. And he said, at the regional. So I just bagged out of the way, and they took off. And I don't know, my mind was racing, so my mind was just racing. I didn't even go to it at the regional. I almost was at St. Mary's until Ken called me and said, no, we went to it at the regional. So I had to turn around. And we got up there to the hospital or whatever. And I remember like when I got up there or whatever, you know, people everywhere. I already had got up to the hospital, his baby mama them or whatever. And we was talking, I hadn't seen his mama yet, you know. And then she walked into the hospital. I don't think I could do with your husband. Cause I just didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. But like, cause Omar was the type of dude that had he had no beef or he went no, you know the type of guy that he deserved that, you know?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That was my best friend, you know what? He didn't deserve that. He wasn't no type of dude like that, you know?
Yes.
He wasn't no guy like that. Well, you know, he didn't deserve that right there.
Mr. Brooks. You need just a moment, sir.
Yeah, you know, I just remember, I could, it was so many people in the hospital, I say his mom or whatever, and just so happened, I couldn't stay in the hospital. I was like, actually one of my friends who was there, is a friend that he had worked upstairs where they were working on Omar, and she was kind of keeping us.
Mr. Brooks, let me stop you right there for a minute, sir. Are you okay to move forward?
Yeah, I'm straight. Yeah.
Let me ask you about one other thing, if I can.
Mm-hmm.
After March 22nd, on that day, March 22nd, when this happened to you, did you stay in town or did you go out of town for a brief period of time?
Yeah, actually, that Thursday, I already had plans of taking my family to Florida that Thursday anyway, so we went ahead and took out the Daytona like that Thursday morning.
At some point, though, did you wind up having some sort of phone conversation with the defendant, Jamie Hood?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
And when was that?
Actually, I left my phone in the motel room and to my little girl, and we went swimming. When I got back, I had like 4 missed calls from Ken.
What day was that? Was that Thursday when you went down there, or the next day?
The next
or
day. It was the next day.
That Friday?
That Friday, yeah.
After this happened to you?
No, after, yeah, And I called Ken back, and he was like,
Well, don't go into what he said.
okay, he just took,
Based on that, what did you do?
I got
Based
the
on what he
number.
told you?
Based on what he told me, I got the number that he talked, that he talked to Jamie on. And that's when I called the phone.
Did you speak to a person that you understood to be Jamie Hood?
Yeah, it was Jamie. We talked.
You recognized his voice?
Yeah.
And what did he say at that point, and what did you say to him?
He was like, when he first answered the phone, he was like, who this? And then, I was like, you know who the fuck this is? And then he was like, oh, what's up? Hey, what'd he say? He was like, what's up? I was like, shit, what's up with you? Like, yeah, hey, I was gonna kill you. Then when he was like, bitch, you better be lucky you got away. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna kill your bitch ass just like I did your boy. And that's the first time, actually, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, prior to that, before him saying that, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't know who had did that to my friend. You know?
What friend was that?
Omar Ray. I didn't know. Even doing the kidnapping of me, it never crossed my mind that, you know what I mean? Cause I know that this man ain't never had no dealings with Jamie, or Jamie actually met him through me.
What else did you talk with the defendant Hood about? Anything else between you two?
Nah, he was like, he told me that, oh, you think it's over? He told me that the guys were still out there. Oh, they gonna get you. Believe me, they gonna get you. And he hung up the phone. He wouldn't never pick back up the phone. So I texted him.
That's all I have of Mr. Brooks at this time, John.
You may cross examine.